So, hello everybody. Today I'm actually going to talk about a little bit of a more serious topic, and I still hope you can enjoy it. A disclaimer to alcohol-based markers: I don't use them that often, and I don't know what to do with them. I like to play with them, and sometimes I like to use them if I want a really strong piece. I have a lot of browns, but I realized very quickly I don't have probably enough browns to make so many different skin colors in there, and I don't do a lot of shading because I don't know how to do it, and yeah, I'm not an expert on that. And also in the writing there, I'm not the best at writing on paper, like make a statement and write, because I think, oh, I can begin here, and then it's too long, and I'm like, okay, that's why the exclamation marks at the end I put to the front. But I still hope you like the drawing, and I still hope you like what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's it for the intro. So, right now I want to talk about a little bit of a more serious topic, or actually emotions. I don't know. I don't know if you look very often at social media or not, but my social media, especially my Instagram, because my YouTube is not so much full of it. But my Instagram is very full of now Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matters, and the murder of George Floyd, which rest in peace. But sometimes I don't get it. I don't get our society. Like, yes, I I'm a person who loves to do stuff for the planet, because people don't some don't believe in climate change, some don't want it to be true, but there's still the point where you have to admit something's not right, even if you don't want to believe it's true. So when I go on my social media nowadays, I really hate it. I just hate it, because I'm not only getting like these Black Lives Matter, and that Afro American, or actually everyone who is not white, who is not a white person, is struggling. And at that point where I see this, and I'm like on my Instagram for about 10 minutes, I get frustrated. I normally I would draw and just draw my feelings, post them, be a part of it, and just show kind of that I care too. And I like to draw with emotions because my emotions are mostly very strong, even if they're just for a short time. But they kind of are very strong. But I get so frustrated because I don't know. It's hard. It's like I'm privileged to be white. I'm very privileged. I actually get that I'm very privileged now more than a month ago or so. Not because now another innocent black person died because of fucking stupid US police. No, it's because sometimes I feel like, oh, I'm privileged to have Netflix. I'm privileged to have actually a computer where I can do stuff. And I sometimes don't get that often, but I try to remind myself that what I have is very, not everyone has that. So when I go to social media and see that for like 10 minutes or an hour, depends on how long I'm on Instagram or something like that, I'm just asking myself, do people not get it? Do people actually think they're like superior to another person? Because if you think that, then you are probably the biggest fool you could be. Even if you think you're superior to a person who's blind, or who's deaf, or um, can't speak. Do you know, actually, you think you're superior, but these people are so much stronger than most people who have no problems. Because people with problems are probably the strongest, I would say. Because not only do they have to have a different life, they have to be in that life every day. And it's not like a punishment. Some stuff happens. When I was in school, I actually felt so left out. I wish I was different. Like, like, when you looked at me, you knew I was different because I had a different skin color or I had an accent or something like that. But I was just different. It was nothing you could actually be like, oh, she's different because that or that. Okay, I styled myself differently than most of my classmates, but still I was very different to them. I was not the outgoing person. I am still a very introverted person. And now when I look back, I am really surprised I didn't crush. I had so many times I thought I would crush and I would break and I would fall down. But it's just so stupid to judge someone because they're different, because they look different, because they sound different, because they have a different culture. And I talked to that to a friend of mine some time ago. And it was like when I see a person who is, I don't know, Arabic or something like that on the street in the night, it doesn't matter if it's Arabic, it doesn't matter if it's a guy or a woman. I am so afraid in the night. All right, in when it's a man, I'm a little bit more afraid, but it's not because it's man, it's not because of the culture or anything. It's just because I am so afraid in the night because I'm so scared that I'm gonna get kidnapped or I'm gonna get killed or something like that because my imagination just goes there. And that has nothing to do with the gender, with the culture, with the maybe with the age also, but um actually if I see a teenager, I'm still very afraid that they will kidnap me, but it's in my head it's more unlikely that they will kidnap me than an older man or a mid-aged man with an with a grandpa. I'm not that scared. But there's still the chance because there are also grandpas who are really strong and can kidnap you. But it doesn't matter the person. I'm still scared because that's me. And maybe I have a very weird personality trait. And it takes me a little bit longer with some people to connect with if they have another culture. But to be honest, I never really had someone in my life who I was like, oh yeah, that's my best friend. But it took me 5 years or so because they were had another culture. It's like still with the same people like I do. I am sometimes like, oh, it's hard for me. It's not hard for me to open up. It's hard for me to really, really, really open up and do stuff with those people. But it doesn't matter what the skin color they have or wherever they from, whatever culture they have. It's just that it doesn't matter if it clicks, it clicks. I actually never had a problem with anyone. It's just that I grew up with people like me, in quotes, to be honest. But if I would have grown up with people who aren't like me, it would have made no differences. Maybe it would have been a little bit more of a difference that I would start talking more to those kind of people because I grew up with such kind of people. But to be honest, when I'm somewhere new, I don't even want to be there most of the time because I don't know someone. And so I always wait for someone to show up who I know because for me it's easier to get to know people then and I feel more safe than when I just go somewhere and I'm alone and try to find someone I know or who I like or something like that. But I still think it's very stupid. I also because I saw that on social media and mostly I can't express it very much my feelings. That's why I normally just draw. But right now I just had to take my computer and record it. Also, when I went on Instagram, I saw a post which was from someone completely different. It's a lot of now George Floyd being killed and the Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. But I also have a lot of other influencers on my Instagram who are actually still fighting for equal, not rights, but equality for women. And so there was this whole equality for Black people that, yeah, it's a little much. And then I read that and I was like, is she referring to, I don't know, race or something like that? But no, she was referring that it's so stupid that women are worth less than men, even though they do the same work. That actually no one would exist if women weren't there. Yeah, men are stronger. Men always wear like the strong gender, sex, I don't know what. But two women can't even evolve and have a baby. They have to have a man. And yeah, the thing is, men also, if you have two men, they also can make a baby because they have to have a woman, at least one woman there. It's so stupid. And actually, I think at this point in our society, I get that some people who are older grew up with different ways to live. Does it matter that much? Because still, our youth is growing up with so much social media and so many influences that it shouldn't be right or the right way to still say no. We still have to have the same ideologies as we had 50 years ago. That makes no sense. 50 years ago was a really different kind of time. Everything evolved. Everything. We don't have the same animals like then. Even 50 years, I don't know. Probably. We still can have like, probably some are even were killed so they don't exist anymore. So we don't have the same animals as then. I don't know, I didn't live then. I live now. And I don't know, I don't get it. It's like, yeah, we learn from our history and we learn from our grandmas and grandpas. That makes sense. It should make sense. Because our grandmas and grandpas did live then. And we live now. But I feel like some people are just like, no, this is wrong. Those are the bad guys because they look different or they are different. No, people are bad when they do bad things. They don't do bad things because they are black. They don't do bad things because they're, I don't know, caramel brown or if they were Asian. But some people who are bad and do bad things are white and have too much power. And also some people who don't have so much power do bad things. But in my opinion, when I think about it right now, I think that people who have power and do bad things or wrong things, if it's wrong and they admit it, okay. But if they do bad things and they're like, no, I never did that, I really never did that, then I think it's way worse than someone who's like poor or having really trouble in life and then doing a bad thing and saying, oh, I did this because I couldn't help myself. I didn't found another way out, or I didn't find another way. Blah 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 blah. It's not as serious as when a person who has power does the bad things or the wrong things, because they can't say, "Oh, I didn't know a better way out because I had so much power. I needed to use it." Who the heck has to use their power for doing something that doesn't like help other people? And to just help one person, then and like damage 1,000 people, that wouldn't be right. That would be so not right. It's like still a ethnical reason. I don't know, but I don't think it's right. I think that's very wrong. Because if I had the power, I don't know. Let's say I have more power than a child, and a child, I don't know, breaks a very, very important thing to mine, but it didn't know better because I didn't give him attention or something like that. First of all, it wouldn't be right in my case to hit it then because it didn't know better. Because it didn't know better to get my attention because it was hungry or it wanted to play, and I'm the one who cares for that person. It's not like I was like, no, I don't want this child and think, because if you actually don't want a child, just give it free to adoption. Maybe it doesn't have a better life there, like a really good life, but it will probably have a better life than you abuse it. And let's say my child is asleep because it needs that sleep. And I'm like, oh, actually, right now I want to play with my child, and right now I have time, which still I could reorganize my schedule and maybe look that I have more time later so I can actually play with my child when my child wants to play with me. I don't have a child, by the way. And then I just wake it up by, I don't know, playing loud music, just dropping it. It needs to be slept because I want to play with it. To be honest, if I do that, it would be so much worse than if my child or any child who I have to look after right now would destroy something of mine because I didn't give it the attention. Of course, it needs punishment to say that's not right, but I still have to see what's wrong with me, because children doesn't just do something because they think it's the only way to, it's the right way to do that. It probably also tried a lot to get my attention. So if you get a metaphor, I don't know, it's not really a metaphor, it's just an example, so you get it. Because I have more power, and the child doesn't know what to do else, because it can't do anything else to get my attention or to get something it really needs. And yes, it also depends on the situation and everything, but still I have the opinion right now that someone who has power and does something really wrong and knows it's wrong, because I would know that slapping my child or any child is wrong. If I say you're grounded, you're not allowed to play now because you did something wrong, that's a different thing, that's punishment. But like hurting it, like really hurting it, is a very different topic. Yeah, I think I actually went a little bit overboard now. What I actually wanted to say is that all those medias right now, that we are not unity, and I get that people can sometimes don't get with other people, but that's in every way. Sometimes I don't even like other people, but then I just don't do stuff with them. Our world, our planet is so big that if you really don't want to be with, I don't know, just, I don't know, buy a piece of land and grow a farm or something like that. Because then you won't have to do it. And you can say, no, I don't work with them. I know that I'm limited and I don't like them. And then I'm limited on my job. That's okay for me because you don't like those people. And I would actually, if I would be in such a position and be a boss of someone, and would say, I would say, okay, but you do know that I then cannot use you for everything I want to use you, maybe, if you're really good at your job. But you said that to me, and I really get it. And I would also, if someone was like racist or something like that, or really don't like someone, that I would be like, okay, then I get someone else in there, but we need you for that, even though you have to know that we're working with those people. Um, better it would be if someone would not be racist. But I kind of don't think that we can have such an ideal world. And it's very sad, but how sad to hurt someone who didn't have anything to do. And if you're so afraid that someone hurts you then in your job, then don't do the job. Do another job. Oh, what I also wanted to say, I saw a post where it was like every time a black person gets hurt or dies because of, I don't know, police work, then it's like, oh yeah, those are just the bad apples in this job. But there can't be bad apples in some jobs, because airports can't just be like, most of our pilots like to land. Like, you know, it's so true. And for police, that's the same. You can't have someone in police work who's racist, because you're giving someone a gun and the authority to actually put someone in prison. I'm not that good at police work, what everything you can do and what you're allowed to do. But you can put someone in prison and you can hurt someone, and how we all get to know right now, because you threatened me. And even if it's a threat, yeah, okay, it's a threat, but I think he didn't have a weapon on him, and I think he was totally unharmed and innocent, and still stuff like that happens. And then people just have to say, okay, you did that, and we cannot really trust you because stuff like that happened again and again. You're not a policeman anymore. And you make sure maybe not everyone, but if he's on social media, then make sure everyone knows that that person is not a policeman anymore. It would make so much sense, but of course, people don't do that because they're like, oh, but he's a good policeman. He's one of our best men. Yeah, but apparently he's not one of your best men if he hurts innocent people. Because the word people doesn't mean just white people. But you're a police officer. You have to protect everyone. Not only your kind. Protect everyone. No matter if they're black, yellow, small, big, don't even speak your language. You don't know them. And then know there are bad people out there. And the good people, need protection from the So I hope you liked this video. I hope you had fun with it. I hope you thought about some things or you learned some things. Maybe you just had fun sketching with me, trying new things out like alcohol-based markers. And if you liked it, give it a like. If you want to say something to me, write it in the comments. And subscribe, because I do very weird videos, like talking to myself and drawing nearby. So I would like that. And I probably will see you. I won't see you. You don't even see me. And I probably will hear you. You will hear me in the next video. Bye bye.